Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we have a grand campaign event for you. It's a very important event today with tickets, or rather, tokens being on the line. The first match here is Boulevard Heights Readout, and then our second round is Hills Counterattack. You're seeing an overview of both of those maps right now. Thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to link in the description and get a live streams of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. So our teams for today, on the CSA campaign side, they're playing CSA both rounds. You got the Iron Brigade, Hood's Division, Hampton's Legion, Jackson's Division, Midwest Brigade, and the Free States Brigade. Whereas on the USA campaign side, who's playing Union both rounds, you got Colquitt's Brigade, 9th Corps, 42nd Pennsylvania, 30th Ohio, 12th Virginia, Irish Volunteer Brigade, and the 1st Delaware. Looking at our server size today, it's about 175 right now, even on both sides taking 2 on artillery. And then in terms of frontline reporters today, on the top left side of your screen, you have Lucian from the CSA perspective on the field. And then we have Uncle Dragon here from 9th Corps. Very appreciative of both of them being able to do this. So with that all being said, co-commentating with me today, we have Great Scots. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey folks, I am Great Scots. I'm with the A&V most of the time, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, very appreciative of you being here. Great Scots has been recording some pub matches. I'll have a link to his channel in the description if you'd like to check out his commentary. But going into Boulevard Heights Readout, what is CSA's strategy for this, because you play with CSA more?
Well, this one's going to be up to them. I'm usually in artillery on Boulevard Heights Readout. I really like it, but I think the general idea is probably to push the left, the CSA left, the Union right of the readout, which the Union have conveniently placed themselves in front of. This is something I've noticed started happening on pub matches a couple months ago, and I don't know where it actually started, but it was the first time I saw it was on pub matches, and you can see the Union here is rightfully taking advantage of their range against, I think the CSA has some 42s on here, and so if they have 42s, they're likely to be outranged in this kind of a fight. So I think the left side is usually what the CSA wants to do. They want to press that berm, get in there, cause a lot of casualties, and rinse and repeat.
Yeah, no, that's very much what we normally see on Boulevard Heights Readout. I don't think I've ever seen the Union push out as far as they have for this long a time.
I've seen this one a couple times on pubs, and it works until it doesn't, and so we'll see how it works this time. But I've seen it 2 or 3 times in pubs, and it was hard to disentangle whether the tactic worked or whether on that pub match the Union officers were just that much better than the CSA ones. So we will we'll put it to the test here.
Indeed, you got Lucian here from the Iron Brigade. He's pushing his guys up right now. Looks like they're trying to get around the flank of the Union. Not really pushing up to those rocks, but they're kind of sitting back shooting. I'm surprised they're not trying to push to take the rocks. Granted, they're not with their whole team. Remember, they have a Steam chat in this event, so they can communicate over a voice call. The officers can. So, one thing I did forget to mention, so HD is in charge of the CSA campaign, the CSA side for this round. Colquitt's is in charge of the USA campaign, or USA side. And regardless of who loses the match, they will lose their token in the campaign. So today's a pretty big match. We'll have the same thing with the second round where the losing side loses their token. But important rounds for Grand Campaign today.
Load in their faces! Fucking ball them, lads! Fucking ball them!
Iron Brigade still kind of sitting in the open. You have some FSB guys with them, but it's kind of confusing that they're not going up to the rocks. I don't know if they want to be point blank, but they're really kind of getting shot up right now. And they're pulling out. And CSA's even down on tickets. I'm really surprised we don't see the CSA go hit the far right or the left like we saw Iron Brigade do a second ago. I don't get the lack of aggression.
Well, it probably has something to do with that warm lead that the Union keeps throwing at them. But I suspect the CSA wants to get in close. And now that they have one unit out that's got to respawn on flag, they're unlikely to win, I think, any straight up shootout.
Right.
Am I missing a fourth flag? I'm trying to find it here. I got one here.
2 CSA flags in the center, and then
is it
one
2
back
at the
left.
rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, okay. I see. And we haven't yet. I don't think we've heard from CSA Arty at any of the artillery positions.
They don't have any guys over there right now.
They have nobody at Arty. That's understandable given the state of Arty. But this is a problem. Once one flag gets whittled down or one company gets whittled down, the other 3, if they're up against 4 flags, whoever that 4 flag side is has the respawn advantage. So we'll see how the CSA, I guess, regroups from here.
I mean, the shootout, they're losing it pretty badly right now, especially with Iron Brigade going up there. CSA ain't going to win in a shootout. Yeah, obviously, you have to be aggressive as the attackers and take this point, but you have some movement.
Yeah.
CSA, they're all shifting to the right side right now. You got JD going that way, HL as well.
Yeah, swift concentration and movement to the right side. The CSA might get in position while the Union isn't, and then the CSA can shoot while the Union moves. But we'll see if the Union kind of snuffs this out. It looks like they're already reacting, and so I don't think that this is going to surprise the Union at all, because that's a nearly, continuous line of contact from one line to the other on the Union side.
CSA, for the most part, outside of one flag, is going down this right side. Iron Brigade's really in the open field compared to the rest of their team.
Yeah, I'm not sure how their friendlies aren't hitting them as they dig into the fence behind them. I'm not sure what the plan is here, but maybe they have 42s and they're trying to make them count, but they need the rest of their team to come up and do that. But it looks like some of them are getting the message.
Yeah, geez, Iron Brigade just got destroyed, and CSA's still shifting right. You got FSB at the extreme right for
That's
CSA.
right, except for the group up there on the hill.
Yeah, and Union's actually pushing out towards them right now. Folkwitz Brigade. This is fascinating.
Yeah, if this group doesn't pull back, they're going to be in trouble.
Midwest Brigade.
You just flew over the rock and you died.
You got some Union kind of pulling back to the berm right now. Some inside of it looks like they're coming out. You got 12th VA holding right outside of it. This is really fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, the berm provides cover, but so does distance and loose formation. And again, if I really can't remember, I think the CSA has at least some 42s on this map. And so if you're the Union and you don't, you want to be making this a good range contest, and that's what they're doing right now.
Exactly. I think Iron Brigade...
CSA's got to...
Yeah, you go.
No, there was nothing there. Go ahead.
The JD's pushing up, but I know Iron Brigade has 42s because they mentioned it, but I don't get why the CSA is not blobbing up as a team and charging, especially if you have 42s with point-blank shotgun.
Especially right now. Yeah,
JD's
I don't know why they got... Yeah, they are, but we'll see. They got 2 more flags that are coming in. Well, 1 more flag that's coming in late here on the right side push, and maybe a 3rd, but the rest of the Union kind of disappeared, and then they've reappeared here at the horizon. I'm far to the right of the CSA, so see the Union coming down now, the Garibaldis and all the rest.
Yeah, JD starting, or actually FSB rather, is getting into melee with 12th VA, winning that. Union pushing down the hill. Good volley into the side of CSA, getting a flag, but it's picked back up right away. Some of those Iron Brigade guys are charging into that Union group, but there's only like 4 or 5.
This is probably the game the CSA wants to play here. They finally embedded themselves on the berm. I don't know where the Union disappeared to on the west side of that ridge for a while, but that allowed the CSA to get up on this berm, and now it's going to be the close, ticket-heavy shootout and melee that the CSA wants. They have a clean escape if they want it to get their flags out, so we'll see if the CSA can pull it back here, but they are down.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Union. You can't let CSA sit here in the berm and just harass you the whole game.
CQB up here is they're going to contain Midwest Brigade, but I think they might want to try some concentration against dispersion here and try to get that group off the berm, because there's too much time and too many tickets left on the clock that eventually CSA is going to pull that ticket lead back.
Yeah, and we're already kind of seeing that right now. I mean, Union does have one gun all the way out here, but the Colquitt's artillery, they're now aiming it inside the berm, which is really funny. But CSA hits engaged. Yeah. Union about to hit
Union's not far behind, given to where they were a couple minutes ago in their relative ticket position.
Union artillery overshot.
Yeah.
That's not an easy angle.
Yeah. Yeah, and now the CSA is inside, and they're going to work their... I think they're on point. Yeah, they are capping. I don't know if that's an intentional from the Union, get the CSA to cap, but...
I don't think CSA would want to cap at this point.
I wouldn't think so either, but it looks like the area inside the berm the Union gave them. All right.
Yo, fall back, man.
Arch, I feel like you would play these spoons.
Yeah, it does look like
I
they're
like
pulling
spoons.
back. Colquitt's fell back. Midwest Brigade.
We might got a
Same
melee
doors.
here in the middle, or it's going to be a very close shootout.
Yeah, I don't... If Union's going to charge in, they got to do it with their whole team. They can't independently go in here as tiny groups. 42nd and 30th running up and doing that. Union goes down 2 engaged.
Yeah, you got one Union group moving left. You got one Union flag meeting its respawns in spawn. And then you kind of have 1 or 2 in the middle there that are getting shot at very close range by the CSA, who I suspect have 42s. And oh, 4th Union flag's down inside the fort.
Iron Brigade, HL taking up these caissons in center of point, trying to get close to the Union.
You see them? Lucian, right hand side.
Looks like the Union might want
Remain
to
flanked.
use a little bit of movement here on moving east to maybe force them off the berm. I think they're too small in number probably to do that to JD.
Yeah, this
In a bit of fire, boys.
they're not going to do enough damage from this distance.
CSA already finally got a gun up and running 13 minutes in.
Midwest Brigade looks like they finally ran around this side, and looks like they're going to link up with the rest of their team within the berm.
Come on, then.
Yeah, that's absolutely the right call. They kind of, I think they held CQB back enough that the rest of the CSA outmaneuvered and outfought the Union and got the prize position here.
Lucian, Iron Brigade, they're going outside the berm. They're trying to hit Colquitt's on the side right now.
It's an idea. It's one that might
put
not
your
work
shots
if
into 'em, lads. Put your
they don't
shots
get
into
everybody together. I think Garibaldi's going to try to go behind him, cut him off, and wipe him. But it doesn't look like the CSA is going to stick around and let that happen. So
Well, it's been nice knowing you.
I guess they wanted to
Fuck
go
you,
hunt
officer.
Artie.
Get shit on.
Yeah, they got those 3 guys there, and they're going to keep going here.
If the CSA knew it, they have a chance to pick off the Garibaldi, the
That's all right.
CB folks, I guess. But I'm not sure if they know they have the opportunity.
Move forward, boys. Fall back.
42nd and 30th are pushing up, trying to hit Iron Brigade on the side. They kind of fell out. They retrieved that fallen flag.
Never mind.
And Union's up on tickets again. HL's trying to violate, but they only got like 5 guys shooting.
Yeah, I think given how far off those 2 Union groups are out in the field on the northeast of the berm, if the CSA concentrates against the rest of the Union in and around the fort on the west side, they have a chance to wipe maybe 1 or 2 of them, or at least do a bunch of ticket damage here.
Right.
I do believe the cannons went over our head.
CSA has a bunch of guns up now. It's the 3rd different gun I've seen shooting.
Huh, that's real fascinating. Yeah, Midwest Brigade, 2 Iron Brigade guys, 3, 4. Sorry, I looked at the two out of the 6 guys there, and I saw Midwest Brigade tags, and 4 of them were Iron Brigade. Anyways.
I think that was a massive team kill on the side of the CSA. Maybe not, but it looked like it came from the CSA. I mean, you can see the blood splat on the fort. Maybe no, nobody's on that Union gun that they rolled up, so pretty sure that was just a bunch of TKs.
Jeez. CSA as a blob went up the little path outside the berm and got slaughtered.
Yeah, I mean, CSA is actually... They hold like the pivot point between the two Union groups. It looks like the Union is now concentrating more on the west side of the berm, or the CSA's left, but I would think if they could concentrate against one and wipe at least one group, that might be profitable. Because the group on the right is too far away to really help.
Yeah, no, entirely. If CSA just blobs up and goes in, they can have a chance to do some good damage. You have some Iron Brigade guys.
I guess they're going to go for the center. Yeah, they're going to go for the group right on point.
Go on, Aztec. Hell yeah.
HL's outside the berm, so I don't know if they know they can support that, but it looks like they're going to try to match up against the Union group or two that's northwest of the berm.
Oh, I think HL's about to get slaughtered here. 42nd, 30th running over the...
Yeah, it's going to be 2v1 in the open.
They got 4 or 5 there. A lot less than what I was expecting.
They got the flag, definitely, yeah, and maybe some others. But the CSA's embedded themselves in the caissons. We'll see. See if they get reinforced and can hold it, because the Union's taking a very close shootout there at the northwest part of the fort.
Move it right. Move to the south right.
I don't think I've seen a fight in a berm like this where the Union is consistently ahead on tickets. Because normally once you guys get in the berm, Union tickets just drop. But
yeah, if the Union plays the CSA game, which is close range shootout, then the Union tickets should drop. But the Union here, I think rightfully, is playing to their strengths, as the CSA kind of has to do on sunken lane and use range rather than long range rather than close range because of the weapons.
very much so. 12th VA comes up on the side of Iron Brigade, JD in the center, 42nd, 30th up on the berm. CSA trying to reinforce that center, but Union is surrounding them and shooting from all directions. 42nd and 30th pulled off.
Get your groove on.
And CSA is about to hit taking losses. Lucian is popping off.
Spread it out.
Okay, lads. In the right squad, and I'm ready to follow the right orders.
Yeah, CSA has one group that was back at the road, south-southwest, that is now moving up, but they are not at full strength, and the Union more or less is.
We got 42nd and 30th moving along the side. Looks like they're going to try to hit the CSA. Again, flanking.
Yeah, and 12th VA was kind of moving off to that northeast east position that they or someone else was in earlier.
That would have been funny if the 42nd or 30th volley missed the CSA in the center and hit their friendlies that were moving out.
So the CSA has hit taking losses. The Union is not that far off as long as this remains a hot shootout. As rough as it's been for the CSA, I think they have a chance to win this, but it's probably too early and not smart to make predictions. But I'll do it.
I'm as of right now, I'm pretty confident that CSA is going to win this. I'd say they probably got like a 75-80% chance in my opinion.
Yeah. And this is a map where, as with a lot of war rights maps, even with all the changes that have happened, attackers seem to generally have the advantage.
Yep, they get. Let's see. What is the exact percentage of ticket advantage they have? Union going down the taking losses now.
Yeah, and you can see the CSA is barely through taking losses. And all 4 CSA flags, that was quite a ricochet. It didn't do any damage, but it also didn't do any damage. But all 4 CSA flags are embedded in the berm, and one more morale stage, and then the CSA will cap this point. And again, the Union is dispersed, while the CSA could concentrate against that left side.
Yeah, this map has according to Pub Officer Discord, a 34% advantage in terms of tickets towards the CSA. And CSA now charging Iron Brigade, hitting Colquitts.
Yeah, they're going to draw them in, but they're just going to come right into the melee that was already planned. HL did the right thing. They're coming around in the back door. It doesn't look like anybody in that Garibaldi group had any idea that was coming in. That's going to be at least bloody. And you can see that you got at least 2 other Union groups that are too far away. One that really is too far away to do anything about this.
Yeah.
And this is the benefits of concentration against dispersion.
Yeah, CSA as a whole team just is defeating the Union in detail. And, I mean, it's even representing the ticket amount. It almost looks like CSA is ahead now in tickets. Which I don't know why CSA's not continuing to charge.
They may not know what we know flying around up there. I don't know either, but they do have a flag down. They know that Union's got to be spawning main for at least one large company. Off on the right side of the CSA, the east-southeast side, looks like the CSA got the worst end of that charge, but it was not a great charge. Looks like the Union... This is a pretty good charge. It took out a number of them.
Yeah, the Union do win that charge, but they're pretty weakened from that, so... We'll see where they reinforce at, but...
Certainly the ticket burn rate looks advantageous for the CSA. It doesn't look like we're going to run out of time on the black timer
Very much
before
so.
the Union go breaking. That was an on-point shot from CSA. That's generally where you want it to land, is somewhere in those fixed caissons when your friendlies aren't there.
Let's see. Iron Brigade continuing to first push forward. 1st Delaware falling back. 12th VA, 9th Corps, who we saw charge a moment ago. It looks like they're running up to the caissons. You have 42nd and 30th moving alongside. And CSA is going to charge Union.
Union's got a big push. They're going to go the long way around the right side, the east-southeast side, and try to come all the way around. The CSA seems to see it. Nope, they see the group at the caissons. I don't know if they see the group on the right. All right, they're moving to meet the threat on the right.
The sides have kind of flipped. This is funny. Flip positions.
Yeah, CSA.
All tuckered out.
All right, CSA I think is going to get wiped on the left, maybe? You got one flag from each side down over there.
Yeah, CSA left. I don't know who shot that artillery. Definitely CSA artillery, but they just hit their own guys.
It looked like CSA artillery, yeah.
Yeah, but CSA on the left side looks like they're going to lose there.
Yeah, and the Union got the flag up that was over there, and so you got 2 CSA flags down, 1 Union flag that's down. CSA has to kind of know that situation, and long term it's not to their advantage. But if they can make this bloody, there's a chance that both sides will go breaking here maybe before the 15-minute mark, and maybe much before that.
Someone from FSB or HL just whispered, "Let's charge them." They wanted to charge really bad, but CSA is pretty outnumbered up here.
Yeah, if the Union knew it, I would think that they would try to wipe them and then go back to that long-term engagement. And on the right side now, maybe it's just going to be one of those pop volleys. Yeah. Maybe there's a melee there. I don't know.
Make a line, make a line, make a line.
On the right side, they're either going to get close or they're going to go in for the melee. And on the left, they're also creeping very close. It's going to be a melee on the right. And I think it's going to catch the CSA off guard. We'll see if they can get their 2 flags up that are out. That's kind of a big deal. It's not looking good. That is looking like a Union wipe of the CSA.
I am shocked that the Union has retaken the berm. It took them a long time, but wow.
Yeah, they're also about to go breaking first. I don't know if JD got the message. Maybe their officer's just going to go and leave tickets. But yeah, CSA can reset here when the Union goes breaking. It'll be pretty close. But for the Union, they got to be happy that they pushed the CSA off the berm as they're about to go breaking.
Yeah, that's it's very surprising, but well done to Union. Obviously, that was still great moves on part of CSA. Getting Union down to basically breaking at this point is very good for them. Speaking of that, there they go. So we'll see how CSA wants to try to take the berm. We'll see where Union goes.
Yeah, the Union's coming out. They want that long-range engagement and probably are hoping to stick the CSA in final push. I know that's a morale stage away here before they go to taking losses. We'll see. JD's got the rocks down here. It'll probably cost quite a few tickets to get them out, so we'll see if the Union's willing to pay that toll. But there's a fair amount of CSA with HL back at the rocks with the tree to the south.
For you, I've never nailed down in the presence of my
So yeah, Union really just, they're holding the line. Oh, good artillery shot from CSA, hitting dead center of that line. But Union kind of doing what they did earlier. Obviously a little further back, but I mean, it looks like CSA is going to go for that right side again. At least I see one group sprinting down that way. HL.
I do declare these Yanks are terrible shots.
Yeah, it makes sense. The Union on the Union right, CSA left have big numbers, and so they're squaring off against whoever's over there. I'm on the Union side of the fort here, but CSA wants to close that distance, and I don't know if they'll wrap all the way to the right or come in through the center there, but the CSA pushes together. They'll go breaking with the next charge, but they'll put the Union a good way through their breaking morale stage.
Not relocating, but
So looks like you got more CSA shifting to that right. You got some Union coming back into the berm, going to that left side. You got Colquitts and you got Ninth Corps really on the far left of the Union, looking out to the CSA going that way. Speaking of that, who's joining up? Midwest Brigade's going that way.
Yeah, I don't know what the CSA's options are for a prolonged shootout with 2 of their flags down. I think generally with those flags down, you got to either push it and try to get them back, or you just charge and do as much damage as you can. But a long-term shootout when you don't have a mobile respawn is rough.
I wonder if that's why the CSA is doing the shootout, to get those flags back in before they charge the berm again. Because although they are a little ahead on tickets, it's close. You don't want to risk anything. 12th VA is going really far out on the left side.
Pull back to reload. Okay, fall back. Fall back all the way. Fall back.
Yeah, and I can't tell if the Union is quite mirroring the 2 CSA flags that are up or what. It's a really long-range engagement, and so the hit rate is likely to be low on a lot of those shots, but it burns time off the black timer if you're the Union.
Yep, long shootouts are always great for a defending team. In my opinion, I was mentioning this earlier, but I love charges. I think that it's the meta in War of Rights. Sitting and shooting should really only be done when you're waiting for your flags to respawn back in, when you're reforming your guys after you get beaten back or a charge happens. or if your officers are trying to figure out a plan. But I don't think there should be a lot of time for sitting and shooting, just because as the attackers, you can't just burn that black timer. And I've seen too many matches where teams will sit for the first 15, 20, 25 minutes of the game and just sit and shoot out, and they lose so much time, and then everything gets desperate and stressful at the end. And you could have done that, or you could have avoided that if you charged sooner. Sure, there's always a risk of going in the final push, but shooting out, you're not really gaining much out of that. So it always comes down to charges.
It is real. Yeah, it's real. And the CSA now has had both their down flags despawn and I guess respawn, and so I would expect an attack here fairly soon, but I don't think the CSA is yet at the point where they feel pressed for time. By my own internal clock, I just want the Union in breaking, or sorry, last stand, probably with about 3 minutes left on this map would be fine. And the CSA is up on tickets for now. They just got to make it a hot shootout. They got to close distance. The 42nd is back a little too far. If it does become a shootout, there's nobody on that far right. All right, they're moving up now, but
yeah, 42nd and the 30th Ohio going that way right now.
Form on the line as quick as you can.
On the line, south, southwest. Don't see a
Okay,
line.
when you get here, you can see him. Pull back. Back it through now. On the back line.
for those following along at home, though, I think the Union, if you're struggling to defend this map, I think that they've given you some ideas about how you do it. It's frequent movement, it's long distance shootouts, and it's concentration against dispersion. But even if the Union seems to be a bit down at this point, it's not unwinnable.
Yeah, CSA can still very much lose this game. I mean, they're going in independently, which, again, especially with the flag spawns and everything, blobbing up, especially when you want to take position, is really the only way to do it.
Yeah. And they're about to get 2 flags on the far CSA right side, the southeast side of the berm. They're almost up to the berm, but they're going to make it a hot shootout. The Union didn't get dug into the berm, so the Union is shooting from an open field to a group that has rocks, it has bramble, and it has some of the dugout. And then the CSA just charged straight through the center. Seemed to take very few casualties on the way in, and they're going to make it hot.
Yeah, 12th V, or I think, no, it was Colquitt's and maybe 12th VA that charged in. The rest of the Union moving up 42nd and 30th as well.
Union wants to concentrate on that right side.
CSA charged on the center too.
Yep.
And they're entrenched in that berm. 1 Union flag down. CSA up and overing. Looks like they're going to charge the Union instead of sitting on
All
point.
they have to do is cap. All they have to do is cap and bring the Union to them. The Union went big on the CSA right. And no, the CSA just has to hold those caissons and make the Union come in, make it bloody. The CSA is up in tickets. They will absolutely put the Union in last stand if they just hold the point.
Yeah,
Which they are not.
Yeah, I don't think CSA is going to hold, at least for now. But yeah, Union should hit last stand. Union's very spread out right now, which is always going to be great for the CSA in terms of tickets. Any one of these kills and we'll hit last stand.
Save your life, Major.
We've got a friendly flag down to the west.
Yeah, this far behind in tickets as the defenders, you can't last 10 minutes in last stand.
No, you cannot.
And at CSA already, there's nothing more you want to hear than just shoot at the point and dump it into those caissons, because that's where the Union is piled up. There's no friendlies there, and you should get some hits.
That's what you would hope.
There it is.
Yep. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do as Union here. If you sit and shoot, it's going to be a slow and painful death. If you charge, charging might be the best option to kind of throw them off, force them into last stand, make them lose their flags. But it's still very hard to win the game doing that. So
yeah, it's still the CSA's map to lose. If they just whittle them down and get through these last spawns here, They should be able to walk right down to the point in a couple minutes if they choose to wait that long.
You do have the 42nd and 30th going on. I think they're charging, maybe, or maybe they're just going to volley.
They might catch the CSA off guard, not expecting it, and if you know you can wipe 3 flags, wipe 3 flags.
Oh my goodness! I just saw one buck and ball shot kill 3 Union guys.
It doesn't usually happen, so you got to celebrate it when it does.
Here they come, boys. Let's go to our flag.
I got the bayonet on.
Yeah, I can. Hey, leave the flags on the ground. Leave the flags on the
So I mean, this really is going to be a pain and slowful death, especially because CSA is just not hitting final push. They're not. They're kind of close to it, but I hear charging from CSA. Maybe not. Midwest Brigade's aiming and shooting on the left. HL is pushing forward. They're gonna shoot as well.
Yeah. But the CSA's got all their flags at the berm, so unless they lose all of them, even if they go final push, they're too close. It's going to be too hot of a shootout.
So it looks like CSA is continuing to go around that berm, trying to wipe the Union. Some of them charging in. Artillery hits one guy way in the back. I don't know why that Union guy was back there. Some CSA on the bottom side charging into the berm. FSB.
That is probably the first readout I've watched or played where the CSA never really got a hold of the CSA left side of the berm.
Yeah, it's this was a very interesting round of readout, and Union's losing the point. This round is over.
Yeah. Yep, it is. But it was well played by both sides. CSA made a comeback. It started out a little hairy for them, but they rallied, and they'll get the W here.
Indeed. Well, do you have any more thoughts about this first round?
No, I thought it was good. Again, I was surprised to see what I had viewed as a pub tactic used in organized play, but it was used well. Something to certainly think about. I don't know what else I would have recommended given the current state of the game.
Yeah, no, it's very fair. It can be hard for Union to win Bolivar Heights readout just when CSA gets inside that berm. It's pretty much over for you. Union put up a good fight, eventually did push them out, but they paid in a lot of tickets, and CSA got ahead through that whole thing. I think the biggest thing is Union just let the CSA outflank them and get into the berm without much resistance, which I think was the biggest thing. I like the sit and shootout at the beginning, but you just can't let them get into the berm. So good fighting nonetheless from both sides. That was really interesting. I don't think I've seen readout played like that before. Shocked Union retook the berm, but that ticket difference really just kind of finished off with them. But anyways, we will see you for round 2 very shortly. Alrighty, here we are with round number 2. Servers up to 185. We gained about 10. Inbalance is 3. And Union, if we consider that CSA has 9 artillery, that is a 12-man imbalance infantry-wise in favor of the Union, which will be interesting. So, similar to the last round, the side who loses, they lose their token. HL is leading CSA, and First Delaware is leading the USA. I'm told by Lucian that if CSA wins 2 more games, then they win the whole campaign. So, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, Hill's counterattack, I would say, is biased towards CSA with how it is. But nonetheless, Scots, do you have any ideas for what CSA should do strategy-wise?
Well, Hills is one of those where there's a viable... To me, it's a left side push and a center push. To me, it feels like it's one of the few maps where there isn't maybe a great other flank push. And I don't know, the right side always seems like a bit of a mistake if it's not somewhat necessary to go up that right side just to clear the Union off it. But for me, it's this left side high ground that runs along the straight fence. To me, whoever controls that generally controls the point and dictates the pace of the round. So I would say left side, center side for the CSA is the way you win, but how you get there is kind of up to you.
Yeah, very much so. Union's really abandoned that right side that you were talking about, that high ground that's important. The thing is that if CSA kind of puts themselves up on this high ground on their left side, they can just run down to this open field, cap the point without a whole lot of resistance, and they can pull back, and this Hill's counterattack can really become a cap, decap type of game if it plays out like that, especially if the Unions sit back like they kind of are, which they're forming a very interesting defensive position. I don't think I've seen one like this before.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen the Union abandon their right, the CSA left side completely. And I don't know, you've been up in spectator cam a lot longer and more often than I have, but I can't remember the number of times that I've ever seen a group win the point attacking from the low ground, basically attacking from the east-southeast side while another group sits up here on this high ground. It seems difficult.
It's very much so. Union might be able to retake the point from the low side, but if CSA contests, it's going to be very hard for Union to take that point. Because obviously they'll have to charge the CSA. So you do have some CSA going down this right side.
Yeah, you do, and so that means there's an advantage there or an opportunity for the Union. It's not an advantage, but if the CSA is too spread out, they can always try to concentrate against the dispersed side. But given how open this is, it's a little hard to do that in a way that the CSA wouldn't see. So,
right. I don't know. If I were CSA, the Union can't really push up and hit you from the high ground where half the CSA team is that well. There's no real good angle Union can go. Union can try to go from their main spawn to this right kind of snake fence here and push that way, but even then it can be hard for Union to push there. So I really think CSA should have their whole team on that high ground, run down, cap the point, and contest it and force the Union to charge you out. Because right now Union's pretty hunkered back, and you never really see CSA charge Union out from this side, especially when their whole team's there.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen, even if the Union holds this high ground, I don't know that the CSA ever wins charging out from the low ground. So maybe there's a first for everything, and this will be it. But I tend to agree that this right side, we played this one a lot. We still played a fair amount, and it seems like we generally had... We could win it as Union if we held this right side, or sorry, it's the Union right side juncture of the straight fences and the snake fences, but the Union doesn't seem to be going with that.
No, they're not. This is really fascinating, and I'm really surprised CSA has not made a move for the point yet. It's been 6 minutes since the battle started, really 3 or 4 since combat started. Tickets haven't really gone down a whole lot, and that's what you get with really long shootouts is you don't get a lot of kills in the first place because these are just hard shots from long distances. It's not like you have a kill feed or can really see a whole lot. But on top of this too, everyone's dying in formation, which is just one ticket instead of just out of line or in skirmishing because everyone's all scrunched up. And then lastly, with the dev changes as of late, by that I mean a few months ago, where each death was worth 20% less, because when they did the flag change from 10-second respawns to 5-second respawns, they added that as well. But why is
Midwest Brigade's in trouble here? Yeah,
I don't like Colquitt's putting up here, even though they're gonna win this and Midwest Brigade's falling back. As the defender, why are you pushing so far forward?
The only thing I could think of, they're not here to defend themselves, is that if they wiped Midwest Brigade, they then have 4 Union flags up against 3 CSA flags. That's the only thing I could think of. But like you, I'm surprised the CSA has not gone for the early cap. If I have any complaints about how they've approached this, that early cap, it would buy your arty time to find its ranges, to move into position, and then force the Union come in and make it bloody.
Yeah, and speaking of bloody, HL is pursuing Colquitt's and wanting to get some action here. Oh, never mind, they're just going to hold back, and maybe they... I don't know, but looks like they're taking some shots on Union, but why haven't we seen a cap yet?
Did you get him? Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm on my day right now.
I mean, if you love the point of contention mechanics in this game, Hill's counterattack's normally the match for you because there's a lot of capping, decap, and there's a lot of strategy behind Hills, but I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, as the CSA, you just got to bite the bullet on this one. The Union can actually dictate the pace of this because of where the Union can go that the CSA cannot go. And the CSA, if the Union knows what they're doing, they're not going to be able to bleed enough tickets to bring them to breaking before the black timer hits 0. So you got to kind of swallow your pride early, cap, recap. It also saves the artillery from shooting too much before the Union tickets go down, and then they recap at a higher level and negate all those shots. So lack of aggressiveness here could hurt the CSA.
Very much so. HL pulling back. I mean, really the only CSA group that's kind of pushed up is Iron Brigade. And CSA Artillery hit way closer to Iron Brigade, their friendlies, than it did the Union line. So, what is happening?
Yeah, the CSA is just gifting time to the defenders, which is a resource that certainly helps them. So I'm not sure.
Left face.
But I mean, as the CSA, you got to read this, you got to feel this, and just the Union's going to play it cagey. So make it tight. All right, we got to push out here on the east-southeast side. Looks like the Union's going to try to shoot IB as they run through the field. IB is going to form in the field while
Why are they
the
stopping?
Union have 2 flags and a fence.
Okay, that definitely must be a lot more than what it seems from the spectator view, because Union volley there was terrible. They killed 1 guy.
I mean, I'm in that defilade right now. It's actually not. I can see the entire Union line. It was not the defilade that caused that
That is
inaccuracy.
a crappy volley, especially at that close range.
You heard it here first.
So Midwest Brigade's moving some, but they're still not moving the cap. This is fascinating. 10 minutes through the round. CSA's knocked the Union maybe a third through battle ready. That's not a quick pace at all.
No. And again, as the attackers, you got to know the map. You got to know what the defenders can do, and you got to also feel it. The Union's playing this cagey. They're using movement to burn time off the black timer, and they're using range to make it a slow ticket bleed. So you got to cap.
Sometimes, I mean, this game's been out. I know the meta's always changed, but Hill counterattack has seemed pretty consistent for a while. Don't get why we veer off of it sometimes. I do know that tickets don't and casualties don't matter because, again, regardless of who loses this match, they lose their token. So I do not know the thought process here, but regardless of that.
Yeah, I don't know. IB looks like they're moving up to concentrate with 2 other flags to make it 3, and the 4th is not far off. So the CSA definitely has a presence on the edge of cap, and somebody's just got to make the decision to go in and hold it so that the Union can't play it cagey.
All right, so I guess we have some times to. Oh, are they finally moving into the point once I start doing a segue? Well, look at that. JD's
That's
going.
the way it works, man.
There we
That's
go.
the way it works. All right.
JD looks like the first group to go in. You got Iron Brigade, Hood's Division pushing up as well. I don't think Iron Brigade's on point, but Hood's Division with their 6 or 7 guys, at least that I could see, are pushing to cap the point.
Yeah, and if you're watching along at home, notice that the CSA is trying to get all their companies in those hay bales. They're trying to get into a position where if and when they cap early, it's going to be costly for the Union to dislodge them. So that is right. You don't want to just go in and randomly early cap a point and not be able to defend it if you're up or even on tickets as the attacker. So that is right from the CSA perspective.
Yeah, there they go. They cap. I mean, if they hold this for 20 minutes, they win, but CSA needs to contest this. They need to bring everybody's tickets down, and it looks like they're going to hold the point. Colquist is the first group from Union to move up here.
Not sure why IB is falling back and around. Oh, it's because there's a flank over there on the north side. They're trying to shoot into the back of JD.
First Delaware moving up as well with their 5-ish guys there. 9th Corps is holding in the cap bush is what I've heard it called. It's the edge of point. You do have some Union 12th VA.
HL's got to fall back.
42nd,
HL
30th
stays up there.
flank. Yeah,
They're
HL.
going to get enfilade. Midwest Brigade needs to come up and relieve the pressure off HL's right.
And HL's repositioning.
Pick up that flag. Pick up that flag. Let's go. Good stuff.
I mean, CSA artillery. Let's see you cook. This is a good chance. And although Union kind of started to move to outflank the CSA, they're not like 42nd, 30th, 12th VA. They're not on the point, so CSA could still keep this point capped. You can see as it is right now, CSA still has majority control on it. Union's going to have to charge at some point, and as I always say, when a counterattack happens, you need to be aggressive. There's two things you can do, or sorry, there's two things you can do during a counterattack, and they both require you to be aggressive. You obviously want to retake the point right away. As the defenders, you want that black timer to keep ticking down. The only way you're going to do that is if you retake that point, and you should do it quickly, so that if you regain tickets, which the Union here is going to regain tickets because they're down, you want to regain as many tickets as possible. And so you don't want to shoot out for like 10 minutes and have CSA be halfway through engaged and then you regain up to that, compared to now, which they would regain up to halfway through battle ready. And then the second reason to be aggressive is the roles are flipped. Union's considered the attackers, CSA is considered the defenders. So CSA can hit last stand, that final stage, and if Union retakes when CSA is in last stand, they automatically win the game. But CSA is kind of pulling off, and they're trying to hit around the flank of the Union.
Space yourselves.
It says the Union's recapping. I'm not sure I believe my eyes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, this is still great for CSA because if they retake, there'll be engagements in the open. Iron Brigade's really charging in, though.
I'm wondering about these two Union groups here that are committing against a lot of the CSA. The Union groups are CQB and maybe 9th Corps. I didn't get them probably quite right, but it looks like CSA is going to go in there. They're going to try to wipe them and reform. The Union's going to countercharge on CSA right. It's 12th VA.
CSA's charging.
Yeah, Union is going to be off on the CSA's right now, kind of the south-southwest side. It's going to be bloody.
Union's going or being defeated in
The Union's going to
right
cut
now.
off the CSA. Yeah, the Union's going to cut off the CSA's retreat if the CSA has to retreat.
That man got folded. Oh my gosh. He was flow like a pancake. Oh my god.
Though the CSA now has a way out if they move east-southeast. That was pretty close from CSA already. Union's going to charge in, try to clear the point. See how many flags the CSA gets out if they have to.
I think CSA is going to hold that. The 12th VA now going in.
I don't know. There's a big second wave that's coming in from the Union.
And point says it's going back in Union favor. 2 CSA flags. Never mind, one of them stopped and looked behind. Oh, no way he gets out. No, he doesn't. Union's going to win that.
Yeah. Bad situation for the CSA. It's going to recap with the Union going up to CSA levels. CSA is going to lose, it looks like 2 flags. So until they despawn and respawn, it's going to be a slow shootout. But there's 32, almost 33 minutes left on the black timer, so it's not the end of the world.
Colquitt's charging up on the top. They're going to hit Midwest and FSB. They don't realize it's there. That flag is
It's like those left alt keys don't work.
Looks like that flag's gonna make it out though. So Union retake.
That's what matters.
Yeah, that flag getting out. Oh, why is he stopping?
No.
Don't.
Come on, level 30. Let's go. There you go. All right. Yeah. If the attackers only have one flag, it's nothing. With two flags,
Stopping
you
again.
a little bit more.
Let's keep going. We got you, man. We got you. Thank you so much, sir.
No problem, guys.
All right. I would still say it's, again, by my own internal timer, if you get the defenders to engage by 27 minutes, you're doing okay. So at 32:30, it's okay for the attackers, but you're at even tickets.
Yeah.
Even ticket stage, yeah.
Yeah, CSA's in a good spot, and they just need to again go up the left side, cap the point, engage it, and just keep going until Union hits braking. And by that point, it's CSA can kind of dictate in terms of where they want to go on this map. I would think so, anyways. Especially with the Union turtling as is, but
They can. I tend to think again that CSA right side, the east southeast side, I think it's of tertiary importance at best, and the real push is the left side push, and the center push to cap and draw the Union out.
so CSA is spending some time getting up reformed, I assume, before they push out again. Looks like they're gathering up on the left side. HD going up and over, JD, HL following.
There's 3 of us.
Yeah, that's well done. And I just peeked in the CSA Arty caissons, and actually they have more than half their ammo left. So they haven't just been throwing it willy-nilly at the Union, and they need to save it up, I think, for the late game after all the recap shenanigans are over.
Very much so. So CSA looks like they're not pushing the point. Looks like they're trying to hit this wood line. You do have some Union holding that corner that we talked about earlier. Colquitt's is, but
Yeah, and it looks like the CSA is going to go right to point without dealing with Colquitt's. Oh, maybe they have a blocking force here. They do. JD. So JD is going to try to hit CQB if they come up.
looks like they're charging. Question?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
Go up and over, don't go up and over.
So I guess they're just going to try to do damage here, and
Don't go up and over it.
yet HL didn't go up to the point. So I'm not sure.
Some CSA on point getting that flag. Oh, it goes down.
All right, get it, Easton.
Yeah.
Easton.
Gene's trying to tell Easton to come get the flag, but oh, he's running
Yeah,
back.
CQB held easily, but CSA is here. HL is squaring off against them. CSA needs to bring those laggard infantry companies up and get another cap going.
I got the switch.
So CSA tried to get that flag back in the middle of the field, but it looks like all 3 of them died. Looks like you got a War Pig from HL now going for the flag. But some CSA pushing up that right side right now. It's Iron Brigade. And Colquitt's actually got pushed out of that corner. Looks like they fell back behind Union spawn.
Yeah, they fell back. Yeah, they fell back as HL was shooting at them, and I think, I don't know who's over here now. Who is this? FSB, JD. Looks like they're cordoning off this left side of CSA, so that's a big problem for the Union if the CSA decides to move up and to cap here. As I think the CSA have all of its
there's a
flags
charge
back.
on the CSA right. Iron Brigade's hitting, rather 42nd, 30th, they're hitting Iron Brigade because Iron Brigade just rolled up there. I think Union should win this.
Yeah, this looks like a Union win if the CSA. Yeah, because they're going to get double charged in the backside if they don't get that flag out.
Yeah,
All right,
12
it looks like the level 1 is going to get the flag out. I don't know if I'm supposed to root for his side, but go level 1, get that flag out, and we'll see. But the rest of the CSA should be capping point to draw the Union here.
He can fucking try.
Just do what you
12th
can.
is still pursuing this.
Yeah, as they
He's out of
can,
bounds right here.
right?
Nope,
Because
fuck
there's nobody else over here except for the
Pull back,
CSA
pull
who
back,
come
pull
from
back.
spawn or that flag.
Oh.
And I think they've reached the limits of what they can do. So well done on the CSA on the right side, at least getting that flag up, keeping the attack on, and the tickets are about even.
Hey, Yankee, let me use the way O. No? No way O? That's a shame.
So let's see. So yeah, I guess we have segue opportunity to what I was going to say earlier, but then CSA capped the point. So War of Rights has been increasing the player count. What's your opinion of going to 350, 400, and maybe more?
I'm not opposed to it. I'm for it. Obviously, they have to work out their stability issues, but for me, I'm all for the fat servers. The more people you can get on here, as long as it runs well, the more the merrier. I'd rather have one full server than 2 or 3 smaller but full servers.
So the follow-up question to that is, assuming stability is not an issue in this hypothetical scenario, what is the most amount of people that you would want in a server before you're like, okay, that's too many people in a War of Rights server?
Kill these Yankees. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, so I don't have a number.
Yankee.
If any of you are, and I'm sure most of the people listening to this are pretty familiar with the casualties from Antietam. Right now, I'm pretty sure if you played a full round of the Antietam maps through, there would be way more casualties in a War of Rights event than there is in the actual Battle of Antietam. So I'd probably want it to be right sized to that. I don't think it means turning everything into a picket patrol round, which I don't really care for. But they got to do something with the tickets, maybe reverting it back to what it was if they're going to go for bigger numbers, that the casualties aren't absurdly high on each skirmish round. But I'm generally okay with more the better.
That's fair. Kind of segued also on that change. At the same time, we saw 350 players introduced. We saw the flags going from 10-second respawns to 5-second respawns. Any thoughts on that change?
You know, I thought I was for it, and I think I'm still for it, but I'm not totally sure. I think I'm mostly for it because what fun is a game where you're spending too much time on respawn? But I've also found that since that was implemented, at least in the organized play that I tend to play, I'm still spending a lot of time respawning, even with the faster respawns. But I think it makes sense to try to get people into the action rather than sitting around looking at a respawn screen.
Very fair. So both sides almost on the taking losses. I don't know if JD's moving for the point right now, but maybe CSA should just wait for Union to hit taking losses so that timer's at 7 instead of 12 minutes, the gold timer.
Yeah, if they could move up and make this a little bit more of a hot shootout, they might be able to do that in the next couple of minutes. But I would say otherwise bite the bullet because it looks like CSA and Union... I don't know. If I'm attacking and this is a map... All right, so it looks like HD is going
Hey,
in.
we're getting pop-up bomb. Check.
I don't even think you have.
And Union's actually keeping it capped from that bush. 9th Corps is kind of holding in there right now. So...
And now all the CSA are spilling onto the point and they're drawing it in their favor. So the Union's got to step up.
And CSA is going to try to camp the point here. And they have a good chunk of their team up there. They're winning the point. We'll see if Union tries to contest it or if they'll let them cap. You have some Union starting to move off 42nd, 30th. Pushing up on that road to take shots, hitting the side. Gets a couple there.
Yeah, I don't know what your screen shows you. It looks like it's about dead even on cap. So if I were the defender, I would just try to clear them off if you can do it in a way that doesn't cost you too many tickets. And if I were the CSA, if it's pretty close, I would keep the cap pressure on and try to freeze that black timer.
And Confederates down to taking losses. Union's going to hit that any second now. Will it be before the cap, though? That is a big question mark.
Oh, great heavens.
Get him fucking shredded, boys.
Is it going to happen? Is a lot of
Yeah,
Union
you would think like the next death on the Union side would cause it, but they seem to be in formation.
12th VA, probably the most scattered group out of everyone here. And
That was all
so close.
suboptimal.
Oh, they just hit taking losses, too.
Well, we'll say that they planned that for the benefit of them, but I doubt it. So the Union group here on the right is falling back down the road. Looks like they're going to try to concentrate where the Union can concentrate kind of off towards the northeast and maybe push from there. I don't know why the CSA is falling off. Maybe it's to get healthy, but if you're the Union, you got to detect the CSA has fallen off and given up cap and move up to press that cap.
Yeah, they are. They have guys in that bush, and that point is going down very fast. So it's faster than natural decay, but...
Retreat with me.
Retreat!
Ninth Corps does actually pull out of that bush, so... Why wouldn't they retake? I don't know. But... Yeah, CSA is actually retaking the point. They got a couple guys here. Let's see, 1 HL, 2 Iron Brigade guys. Okay, this dead guy looks very off. Oh, his hands.
Yeah.
What the? He's like flipping off the camera, too. What is this? So you do have some Union taking that corner position back.
Yes, I did. Are you proud of me, Doug?
Yeah, I think your earlier point was right, though, is the Union, or the defenders in counterattack, you just want to end this thing. You don't want the ticket bleed with no progression on the black timer.
And here they go. Colquitt's is charging on the Union right. Some guy spawned in and said, "I'm dead," and then instantly got shot.
Yeah, they're charging one flag. I think it's one flag into two.
They're pushing up with one flag. Union on the other side of the map is not pushing up. No, yeah, they are. They're slowly pushing up to the point.
They are, but again, you know, that's that long-range shootout. That's a cold shootout, I would say. And so you're likely not doing that much damage to the CSA. You're just benefiting the defenders in that recap. But they're trying to embed themselves in the bush. They're getting recap progress. They're almost at 50% recap here.
And CSA not contesting.
Yeah, and CSA is down on tickets. Like, they've lost tickets in this counterattack, it seems.
So, yeah, wow, they're just going to let them retake. Okay.
Well, they got 3 flags on the high ground to the 1 Union, and now looks like that Union flag is pulling off. Tickets are fairly close on levels, and probably in absolute numbers, they're CSA advantaged. And if the Union's going to pull off here, the CSA should think about an immediate recap.
Yeah, I definitely think that CSA can cap here, give everyone close to breaking. Perfectly fine if Union retakes the point at that point, and then just smack down and cap and win. So Hill's counterattack is definitely one of those longer maps, especially when the server size gets bigger and bigger and bigger, just because as the server size increases the amount of players in there, each death is worth less tickets. This is just because if an information death was worth the same amount in a large server with 300 players, the same amount in a small server with like 50 people, the small server would take forever. So in higher pop servers, each death is worth less tickets. So this is a middle pop server. It's not really high, but the point still kind of remains. The Hills counterattack kind of turns into this longer match, which we have definitely seen. I think it's gone on for 40 minutes so far, I think. I don't know. So Union's keeping guys in that bush. They want to keep holding this point. They don't want CSA to retake. So for all we know, CSA could just try to shoot the Union down the break-in for the next 20 minutes, or they might try to cap again. Who knows?
Yeah, it seems like the Union knows what they're doing. I think the CSA, when you see that, you got to move up for one more cap and try to make it bloody, and then leave yourself at least 15 minutes or so with the defenders in breaking, where they can't retreat from cap, and it will be super bloody and to the CSA advantage. Union's going out on a very dank flank here on the right to do some shooting, I guess, at HL.
I mean, if they hold back here, that's just a great way to avoid taking casualties. Kind of keep that minimize tickets loss.
I can't believe though the CSA thinks they're going to shoot the Union into breaking here. Maybe, but again, this is organized play. You're not going to get the Rambo tickets from the defenders.
Yeah, especially when they're this far out. I don't know what CSA's hesitation is for trying to get the point here. Again, casualties don't matter. Whoever loses their token is gone.
Yeah, and beyond campaign play, the developers' decision to reduce the tickets cost of deaths just, it seems strange for a game that's based on being in formation, and it seems to punish being out of formation more and casualties more. So attackers, feel free to move in and cap that point and force the defenders to come to you.
So you mentioned Hills. This was one of your favorite maps. What would you say your least favorite map is in War of Rights?
No question, Miller's Cornfield. If that comes up, I just leave the server. If it's an organized play, I just leave as well. It's a pointless map. I hate that map. Get rid of it.
It just you just don't like the complete chaos of it all.
Well, how you doing, Irish? What are you doing over here?
Yeah, I guess that's it. But it's, as the basic rifleman, which I am, you're just running around and you can see about 5 yards in front of you at most. And I don't know who thought that this was a good idea for a map, but it wasn't me, and I vote to remove it.
So, do you not like East and West Woods then?
No, Eastwoods is different. Eastwoods, the Union had actually on Westwoods in particular. I think both sides have a relatively good chance. On Westwoods, it feels like aggressive officers usually have the advantage because there's so little to see. On Eastwoods, yeah, it's a CSA attacking map, and they probably have the advantage more often than not. But it feels like the Union could at least pull that out, and there's some interesting terrain things. In Miller's Cornfield, there's absolutely nothing interesting to me.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, it really just looks like CSA is content with sitting and shooting the Union down. Tickets have evened out, if not starting to favor the CSA again.
Yeah, they are, and I get that, but you want to do it while the Union is in breaking or in last stand. You don't want to do it while they're in taking losses, because at the ticket burn rate we're seeing, The Union may not go breaking until about 9 or 10 minutes, and 9 minutes for me is where I would be concerned if I didn't have the defenders in breaking by 9 minutes.
Let's see, you got some CSA movement in the backside, HL, HD, FSB. Looks like they're just, you got Iron Brigade going there as well. Looks like they're just running around taking shots. So this is fascinating. I mean, CSA can cap the point if they want to. Sure, some Union guys are on there, but the whole CSA team can overwhelm that point very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you said earlier, that tickets don't really matter here, or deaths don't really matter. It's about winning or losing. I'm not sure what the CSA is concerned about. If you recap early and then give it back to the Union when both sides are high and breaking, you can just use that black timer and shoot them further and further down into it. But it does you little good to do it while you're both in taking losses. So I'm not smart enough to figure this one out.
Hey, who's there?
Dang. Dragon over there trying to at least keep the Union in terms of tickets at it, so he just runs over and gets some nice arty kills. So it's 10 tickets.
And that happens through an open field because you're not on your left alt key looking to your right. I mean, how you get killed like that, even with the deflated in open field, it's a mystery to me, right?
So he's going to continue pushing around. He's just trying to get these artillery guys. I mean, these are nice tickets here.
But how do you... Right? All right, so he gets down, but, like, how do you not see that? Maybe he needed a fresh 6-shooter and just didn't want to escape respawn, but who knows?
It was ticket positive, though. So, but that last... Going into that second group of cannons, I don't know about that. But anyways... A little under 15 minutes. Tickets are even. Both sides close to breaking. And the CSA, I mean, Union's gone down a third of a stage in a little over 5 minutes, so we might not see anything until the 8-9 minute mark in terms of when Union's going to hit breaking.
Yeah. IB's pulling off here, so it's likely to be an even colder shootout. I don't get it.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
I'm looking at CSA Arty, and they're rolling some guns that were not moved earlier up now. I don't know what that's about, but I thought maybe they just need the additional cap weight, and so just draw the guys out of artillery. Bring them in, and that'll be it. But you know, at that current ticket burn rate, I don't know. Maybe Union goes breaking around 9-10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But CSA might not be winning this shootout because I think they were up when it started, and right now they seem tied or maybe slightly down.
Yeah, Union seems to be winning a little bit on this shootout, but this is real fascinating. So when did you buy War of Rights, or what got you interested in the game?
Well, it was the summer of 2020, and if you weren't there, you don't remember that there was this pandemic going on. Wait, we had movement towards the point. We can't hear this story. Let's watch the movement towards the point.
Looks like
we'll be forever in suspense. Yeah.
Forever. So JD, I think they're trying to start the decap, potentially try to draw Union in, get them to breaking.
I think the Union's got to know though, if they don't move up, if they just stay back, they will not go breaking in this cap. But they got to play defensive here, if that's what they want to do.
HL's charging into where 9th Corps holding. And 9th Corps retreating.
Bring in 2 groups into those bushes.
9th Corps retreated way too late.
The Union's gonna try to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. And so if that means what I think it means the Union's down a flag.
CSA's gonna,
or the CSA will spawn people in.
They're about to hit him to breaking. while they're taking
Yep,
point.
yep.
Union's not pushing into point. They have to push in.
They do. Yeah, that was it ended up being a Union ticket dump because they did not pull out of those bushes fast enough, and the CSAs chased them off to the about as far as the CSA can chase them. Now they just need to pull back and regroup, get healthy, and make it bloody here on point as both sides are about to go breaking. Unless the CSA caps like one death before the Union goes breaking.
CSA hit breaking. Union's gotta hit breaking. These Union guys holding in the corner right next to the HL, they need to move. Why are they still here? Oh, are they gonna get breaking?
I feel like even if CSA caps, it's not good. Yeah, but even if CSA caps, it's not good for the Union because they got to expend tickets. They will go into breaking in the counterattack, and the black timer is stopped.
CSA don't cap miraculously. All right, any more kills here, and we're gonna see Union hit breaking, and CSA should then probably cap and win.
Yeah, you would think so. Even if the CSA just moves up and finishes this cap, the Union has to come in and go breaking in the recap, and the CSA gets to just shoot. Again, if you're the CSA, you want this recap to end while you're pretty high in breaking.
Any one of these kills is going to get Union down to breaking. Yep, there it is. CSA's going to win the game. Lucky maneuver from CSA there at the end. They almost capped it while Union was still in taking losses, but really good discipline. They got off just on the nick of time. But besides that, Scots, you got any comments for this round? All right. Well, yeah, I mean, this was a pretty generic round of hills. Cap back and forth. I mean, that's just what hill is. It's a very slow, drawn-out map. That's how it's designed. That's how it is, especially on these larger pop servers. Although it was kind of slow, CSA did exactly what they need to do to win the game. So it was very well done on their part. But nonetheless, if Lucian, what he told me is true, one more victory next week from CSA, and they should win the campaign if that's true. But besides all of that, well done CSA today. Good 2-0 from them. And with that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, check out our Patreon in the description where we have live streams of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. But besides all that, we will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night.